You're welcome back again to my channel. My name is Kemi Omorugbe and I'm the creative director of Kemafric Fashion. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't. So now we want to learn how to sew this piece, this beautiful dress I have on. If you haven't watched the pattern drafting and cutting aspect of this, please, I'll be linking it up or in the description box. You need to watch that before watching this. This is the sewing aspect. So let's move ahead and make this fabulous dress. So to the first part, we'll be attaching our bustier. So we'll be joining these two together and this to this side. Then we'll do the same thing for the lining. So now we've fixed our breast pad. Here's the wrong side. It looks very neat. And we have done the same thing to the lining. When you're fixing the lining, be sure to fix it inward. That the sewing should be on the side that will align with the inner part, so that when you place them together you have something like this and a neat finishing inside. This is our back pattern, left and right, and the first thing we'll be doing is to fix our darts. So we're going to measure 4.5 inches plus an extra one allowance because of this zipper allowance. So we'll be measuring 5.5 inches and taking out our dart. And our dart can be as long as 6-7 inches on both sides of our back fabric. We'll also do the same thing to the lining this way, making sure that the seams of the wrong side of our lining aligns with the wrong side of our fabric. So here's the back of our dress once the darts are fixed. So we held our dart by 1 inch here and we proceeded to the apex here. So now the next thing we'll be doing to both our front and back will be to sew in the lining. So with the right side facing each other, we're going to sew by 1/2 inch all around. Remember this part is strapless, and we'll be putting in a rose kind of, we'll be hanging it around here. So for now we're going to treat it like a strapless shoulder kind of. So we're just going to sew here all in by 1/2 inch. We'll do the same thing for the back. We'll attach each side of the back by 1/2 inch. We'll sew that by 1/2 inch. So we'll attach with the right side facing each other. For the back, we're going to sew the neckline by 1/2 inch, and this other part likewise with the right side facing each other. I'm going to close this neckline and the slanting armhole in here. So we are done sewing the lining in, and we've gone ahead to make tiny stitches on the lining part, like 1/8 of an inch or even less on this edge, so it helps the lining stay in this way. So next, you should give your dress a good press before proceeding. After doing that, we want to attach the back and front. Remember that this is like a tubeless part, and here too like a strapless bodice. This on the right hand here. So but we have a shoulder here, and we'll be attaching a sleeve to this armhole this way. So we need to attach these two shoulders, and we'll sew in the right side of the fabric facing each other. So the fabric only will sew by 1/2 inch, and we'll continue on the lining by the same 1/2 inch. So we'll do this all through and we'll get back. Now we're done joining the shoulder. So I sew a single stitch through the fabric to the lining part of that shoulder by 1/2 inch. I also went ahead to close up the zip allowance part of the back piece by 1/8 or 1/4 of an inch. Now I'll be attaching the sleeve. First, you notch the midpoint of the sleeve and place it on the shoulder joining of your fabric. So you're going to sew the armhole by 1/2 inch. Note that you're sewing on only the fabric. So here we have our 2 sleeve well attached to the upper part of our dress. The next thing we'll be doing now is to turn that seam on the armhole with the lining so that we can have a neat finishing inside. So rather than sewing the lining directly on that part and having rough seams, you're going to turn the lining all around. That way you'll have closed up the seam and given the armhole a neat finishing. So now we are done attaching the sleeve. As you can see, we have a neatly finished armhole here. So the next thing we'll be doing is to attach a band. We have cut a 3 inches band on fold. That's 6 inches in total. So this is folded, and I attached an interface in here. That's and folded it in. So this is for the front. It must be the length of your waistline here. So we're going to attach it on the front piece by 1/2 inch, and we'll turn our lining all the way back. So what we want to do now is to sandwich the band. This is the band, this is our main fabric, this is our lining piece. So we want to sandwich the band in between the main fabric and the lining. So we'll do this all the way to the other side and sew by 1/2 inch. For the back as well, we'll be doing the same thing. We have 2 pieces of band already, still 3 inches on fold and 6 inches when you open it up. So first we closed up one side of the back band. That's the side that we're aligned with the zip allowance. So here's our back piece and this is the zip allowance. What we'll be doing now is to sandwich the band between the main back fabric and the lining. So you turn your lining all the way around the band. So that way we'll sew in the band by 1/2 inch. So we'll do this on the 2 sides of the back piece. So we fixed our band on the front and the back. So the next thing we'll be doing now is to join our side seams before we work on the lower parts of our dress. So before we do the joining, attach the 2 sides of the back piece together using a pin. So make sure your bands align with each other at the 2 sides, and hold in your 1/2 inch zip allowance. So we have this, so that way we can place our front and take out our measurement. I'll be taking 40 divided by 4, which is 4 inches from here. That's after the zip allowance, not from the big edge of your fabric, but after the zip allowance, you take your 40 inches and a waistline of 34 inches. So here I'll mark 34 inches divided by 4, which is 8.5. So that's what I'll mark on this side, and I'll do the same on the other side. Okay, so now we've joined front and back piece at the sides, and we finished it up with an overlocker on the both sides. And remember, we held here down using pins. Now what we're going to do is to open it up, and we'll attach we'll make gathers on the lower part of the band by 1/2 inch. And now I'm going to be attaching my mesh first, followed by a layer of fabric. So I have 2 yards of mesh here. I made it about 45 inches long so that it will cover what I will have under. The difference between the length of the mesh and the length of the fabric I'll be attaching is about 5 inches, because I want to create an effect at the hemline. So I'm going to attach this all around from the back to the front to the other side of the back. Now we are done making gathers by 1/2 inch using our tool. The next thing we'll be doing is to attach the fabric. This is a straight cut fabric of about 2.5 yards and is about 5 inches shorter than the tool. So I want to create a layer here. So in the same direction we did with the tool, that's what we'll be doing here. We'll leave just a tiny bit here, like 1/4 inch, so that we can sew up the zip allowance this side. So we'll also be sewing here by 1/2 inch, and we'll be making gathers just like we did for the tool. Thereafter, we'll make another gathers for the lining so that we can cover it up from inside. So now let's continue the sewing, and when I'm done, I'll let you guys see it. So now we are done making our second layer of gathers with our main fabric. So you can see the seam right here. We have our main fabric, then the two. The next thing we'll be working on now will be to turn the seam in using a lining, and we have about 2 yards of lining here. So for the lining, you don't have to make gathers, you can just pleat all along. But rather than sewing the same direction as this, we're going to be sewing from the other side so that we can cover up our seam. So we're going to be sewing this way, and when we are done, we'll have a neat finishing along this line. We are done with this part of sewing. This is what it looks like on the inside. As you can see, the lining has helped us achieve a neat finishing on this way. So now we'll move on to the back, the center back, and I want to close up our zip allowance this way. So we're going to turn the lining and sew by 1/8 inch all through till the end of the lining. So we'll be doing the same on both sides of the center back. We'll do same on this side as well, and after that we'll sew in our zip and then our hem. Then we'll hold the hem in by 1/2 inch, or as you well please. So we've gone ahead to attach our zip in the dance part of the fabric, and we left a little bit of lining here so that it doesn't pull our dress. So we'll be attaching the lining to each other separately at this part, and just before the hemline we left a little bit of the neck so that we can fold here in. So you do the folding here and finish it up. So we are sewing our hemline by 1/2 inch. That's 1 inch actually, because we take 1/2 inch and another 1/2 inch, and then we adjust our length and fix our Ankara patches. Now I'm done sewing, and I went ahead to cut out patches from my print to attach to the hemline. I have a tutorial on how to do this, and I'll be linking it up in the description box. Thank you very much for watching. I believe you've had fun learning the drafting and the sewing aspects of this particular dress. I love the dress. Please kindly support the work I'm trying to do. Yes, please subscribe to this channel. I'll be uploading pattern drafting, sewing, DIY every week, and I know you're going to gain a lot from that. So subscribe to this channel and click on the notification bell. That way you know every time I upload a new video. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video.